Hi students, this is Ms. Medina, and in this video I'm going to review the Unit 2 so that you guys can prepare for your assessment. For number one, which property is being used? Please make sure that you review all the properties, not just these two. You should know all of them. It's just that I can't put a question for every single property. It's several properties, as you know. So, but for example, 6x plus 5 equals 5 plus 6x, and all we did was change places over a plus sign. So that's going to be the commutative property of addition. So we can move terms around if all we're doing is adding them. The next one is 7 parentheses x plus 5 parentheses, and we have the equal sign, and on the other side we have 7x plus 35. So it looks that what happened here was that they distributed the 7 into both terms inside of the parentheses. So 7 times x is 7x, and 7 times 5 is 35. So the distributive property I think the full name is distributive property over addition, but distributive property will be enough on the assessment, okay? All right, number 2, describe the steps that are needed to solve for the variable. All right, so I'm looking at this at 3x plus 2 equals 14. So this is what I want first. So what I need to do is I need to subtract 2 on both sides. All right, let me go ahead and solve it, and then I'll describe the steps, okay? So we have 3x plus 2 equals 14. The first step that we're going to do is subtract 2 on both sides. And you'll have 3x equals 12. And the second step will be dividing both sides by 3. X will equal to 4. So here we go. Step 1 will be subtract 2 from both sides. And step 2 will be divide by 3 on both sides. All right. So now, oh no, I want the other two, this one. I wonder if I can shrink this. There we go. Move out of the way because I need the space. All right, so the next one we have 4 in number 2. 4 parentheses x minus 2 close parentheses equals 10. So in solving this problem, I'll use a different color pen. So I'm going to think about the solution process. Try not to do this process in your head. Do it on paper so that you don't miss something and end up choosing the wrong answer choice, because they all sound pretty similar. You don't want to mess up, so it really doesn't take that much to do these two steps. So we have 4x minus 8 equals 10. All right, so that was a distributive property. All right, let me put a little reminder here. And then I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So I have 4x equals 18. And then lastly, I'm going to divide by 4 on both sides. All right, so then x will be equal to, I guess we can divide these by, simplify, right? So it's going to be 9 over 2. All right, so the first step was a distributive property. The second step was to add 8 both sides. And the last step was to divide by 4 both sides. All right, not bad, right? All right, the last example, 5x plus 2 equals x plus 38. In this one, once again, please try not to do the steps in your head. Just write them down on a piece of paper. That's why you have scratch paper on the test, okay? All right, so the first thing is you want to move all your variables to the left. Right? And so now we have 4x plus 2 equals 38. Minus 2 on both sides. So now we have 4x equals 36. And the last step is divide both sides by 4. X is going to be equal to 9. All right, so now we need to write down the steps. So the first thing was to subtract x from both sides. Okay, number 2 was to subtract 2 from both sides. Okay, the next step was to divide both sides by 4. And so those would be the steps that I would choose if I was trying to pick an answer that was this telling me about all the different steps. All right, so that's number 2. Matching. One solution, infinite solutions, and no solution. Well, no solution is when the variable cancels and you're left with something that's not a true statement. So 3, once the variables cancel here, this is a true statement. 3 does equal 3. Negative 5 equals 3. This is a false statement. And x equals 20. This is one solution. Right, so x equals only one value. So then that means that this one is that one. The false statement gives us no solution, and a true statement gives us infinite solutions. All right, write the equation and solve. 100 more than 3 times the quantity. Quantity means a set of parentheses. Quantity of a number, and 3 is 300. So we have 3 times the quantity of a number and 3, that's x plus 3. 100 more than this, so that's plus 100, is 300. All right, yay, what do you think? Excellent, right? A hot dog stand made $200 for drinks. Where are my highlighters? $200 for drinks, and sold each hot dog for $2.50. Each, this is our rate, right? I wrote each twice. Look at that. And the total sales was $8.25. So we're going to write the equation. So this one is going to be the constant, right? Each hot dog, so that means that's the rate. And this is the total. And so x is going to be the number of hot dogs. So there should be 200 plus 250x equals 825. And the last one says a person bought a laptop for $500. So first piece of information, they bought one laptop for $500, and they also bought cases of copy paper for $43 each. $43 each means a rate. The person spent $1,200. Okay, so since they only bought one laptop, that's a constant expenditure. They bought multiple cases, right? So this is the rate, the value of each case. X is going to be the number of cases, and this is the total, right? So it's going to be 500 plus 43x equals 1,200. Yay! All right, the next one, write the equation to find 7 consecutive integers. Woo! All right, well then consecutive integers go like this: x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3, x plus 4, x plus 5, x plus 6. Is there 7 of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. All right, so when I combine all of this, I get 7x. And then all of these numbers, I'm going to need a calculator for this one. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6, 21. I just didn't want to mess it up on video. Equals 973. There, that's the equation that's going to help you solve that one. the pen's not working. Oh well, what else? Write the equation needed to find 3 consecutive even integers. The focus here being on even. So 3 consecutive even integers are going to be x, x plus 2, x plus 4. That's 3 of them, and that's 3x plus 6, and that's going to be equal to 1,362. And so that would be the equation that you would need. Okay, literal equation, solve for the specific variable in PV equals nRT. That's the first one. So we have PV equals nRT, right? We're solving for V. So this is the variable of interest. So that means V stays, and we have to get rid of P. Since it's being multiplied, we're going to divide it out. And we have to also do the same on the left. There you go. So now we're left with V equals nRT divided by P. Right? Not bad, not bad. If I say so myself. All right, let me move this out of the way. All right, the next one. V1 over T1 equals V2 over T2. And we have to solve for V1. Oh, I did something where only the mouse is working. That's not good. All right, I'm going to pause the video because the... Okay, so now we have PV equals nRT. Sorry, what did I do? We already did that one. V1 T1 equals V2 T2. V2 over T2. And we're trying to solve for V1. Whew. Well, that means that V1 has to stay, right? And the one that we need to get rid of is T1. And since we're dividing by T1, what we need to do is multiply then by T1. And what we do on the left, we also have to do on the right. All right, so the T1s cancel, and we're left with V1 equals V2 T1 over T2. Now the T's don't cancel because they're different T's. One is T1 and the other one is T2. And that is how you would solve for V1. The next one, we have VI for initial, in case you're wondering, equals VF for final minus AT. So this is velocity, acceleration, time, initial velocity, final velocity. And we're looking for which one? VF. So we want to solve for this one. So this one is going to stay, right? And the one that has to go is minus AT. So plus AT plus AT, right? This cancels here. We're left with VF here alone, which is what we wanted. And then over here we have VI plus AT. And that is how you would solve for this one. The last one. I don't have another color. Yes, I do. I'll go with orange. So I have 3x plus 5 equals y minus 2, and we're solving for y. So that means we just have to get rid of the negative 2. So we'll do plus 2 plus 2. And so now you have 3x plus 7 equals y. Oh, there's 2 more. All right, y equals mx plus b, and we're solving for b. I read it wrong, didn't I? Mx minus b. And we're solving for b. All right, so that means that the b is going to stay and the mx has to go, so we got to do minus mx minus mx. All right. So we have negative b over here. We have y minus mx. And remember what I said, if you want to switch to get rid of this negative sign right there, we'll have to switch the signs on everybody, right? So this one will become positive, this one will be negative, and this one will be positive. All right, another way of writing this is b equals mx minus y. All right, and is that the last one, or am I missing one? No, I'm missing the last one. A equals bx plus c. And this time again, we're solving for b. That's what threw me off before. Okay, so the first thing we got to do is subtract c. So we have a minus c equals bx. And we want the b, so we have to get rid of the x. So there you go. B equals a minus c over x. Okay, so the next question wanted to know about the keywords for inequalities. And so I gave you this handout on a green piece of paper. If not, the link is there in the agenda. And these are your keywords. You can pause the video and you can write them down. But more than, at least, it tells you exactly which inequality symbol it belongs to. All right, so now we need to write the inequality or solve for it, or just write it. So then, so be careful here. Don't get confused. If this is 0 right here, and this one is 5, then that means that this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is at 3. So x is going to be greater than or equal to 3. Right? And number 2, the symbol is open and it goes towards the left. So it's going to be this symbol, okay? Now just look at the numbers. Since this is 0 and that's negative 5, this is negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, ow, and negative 4. Right? So this one's at negative 4, so this one's going to be x is less than negative 4. Again, but this one instead is filled in circle, so it's going to be less than or equal to. And focus, there is 0, there is negative 5, so this must be negative 1, negative 2. All right, so we're at negative 2. So x is going to be less than or equal to negative 2. And the last one is exactly on 5, so x is going to be greater than 5. No equal symbol because it's an open circle. All right, solve and graph the inequalities. And in questions 1 through 5, I'm doing the basic inequalities because my students have a bad habit of making easy questions hard for no reason when they're supposed to be easy questions. So if it looks easy, it probably is. I'm not trying to trick you. I just want to know if you're able to recognize stuff and solve what you need to solve. All right, so when you look at this one, since we want x, we want to get rid of plus 3. There you go. Subtracting by 3 on both sides, we get x is greater than negative 1. Sound good? All right, this one. 2 minus x is less than 10. 2 minus x less than 10. All right, so this time we want the x term. So we have to get rid of the 2. So it's going to be minus 2, minus 2. I hope that that's the first step that you took. Negative x less than 8. And remember, when we divide by a negative 1, right, we need to flip the sign. Right, so this becomes x greater than negative 8. Good job, good job. Okay, maybe that one wasn't so easy, but here we go. 5x is greater than or equal to 50. And we want x, so we have to get rid of the 5. Since right now it's 5 times x, then we need to do divide by 5 on both sides. So then x is going to be greater than or equal to 10. right, this one, negative 3x less than or equal to 30. Negative 3x less than or equal to 30. We're dividing by a negative 3. When we do a negative 3, we have to remember that the sign is going to flip. So this is going to be x greater than or equal to negative 10. Okay, that one is done. So now this one, x over 7 is less than 2. And so the x is what we want, and it's being divided by 7. So how do we undo divided by 7? We multiply by 7. So x is less than 14. Okay, this one, negative 3, negative x over 3 greater than or equal to 4. Remember, when you have this, you have to make sure that you understand this is x divided by negative 3. And when you do that, it's just a little bit easier because that means you got to multiply both sides by negative 3. But when we multiply by a negative, this has to flip. Right? So then we get x less than or equal to negative 12. Okay, let's continue. Oh, I'm out of room. Hold on, let me clean up here. Okay, I made some room. So this one, so you have negative 3x plus 2 less than 17. All right, so we want this. And before we can get this term by itself, right, we have to get rid of the plus 2. So we do the opposite, which is minus 2. All right, so minus 3x less than 15. And now we only want the x, right? So we got to get rid of this negative 3. And since it's negative 3 times x, we're going to divide out negative 3. Right? X. Oh, and then because it's negative, we need to flip. So it's going to be greater than negative 5. Okie dokie, the last one. Should have done this before. Well, I guess it doesn't work. Alright, I'm disappointed, but here I go. So we have negative 4x minus 5 greater than or equal to 31. Alright, so first you want to focus on the term that has the variable. That's what we want. Ergo does not move. So we do plus 5, plus 5. Alright, so now we have negative 4x, which is multiplication, remember, okay? Was that 36? And so how do we undo the multiplication? We do division. So we divide negative 4 out. Oh, and then we have to flip because it's negative. So x is less than or equal to negative 9. And we were supposed to graph them. I'm sorry. All right, let me work on the graphs then. I guess I'm going to have to do them all in one color. So this one, right, is at negative 1. It's an open circle and goes to the right. All right, this one is at negative 8. And it's an open circle and it also goes to the right. Okay. All right, this one is at 10. And it's a closed circle because of the equal sign, and it goes to the right. Did I make all of these go to the right? No, this one goes to the left. All right, so that this one, we're at negative 9. And it's a closed circle, and it goes to the left, right? This one was x less than or equal to negative 12. All right, so this is negative 12, closed circle, because we have an equal sign left. This one is an open circle at negative 5, and it goes to the right. All right, so I hope I did all of them. If not, I'm sorry. All right, solve the inequalities, no need to graph. All right, and this one is a little bit literal equations, and it's also inequalities. So here we go. So you have negative ax plus 6 less than 10. All right, so we want to solve for a. Don't get confused. Always make sure you know what you're solving for. So we're solving for a. So it's going to be minus 6, We have negative ax less than 10 minus 6 is 4. And dividing by negative a. Once again, since we're dividing, we need to flip the sign, okay? So then this one needs to be flipped. So we'll have x greater than negative 4 over a. Oh, what did I do? I solved for x instead of a. I'm sorry, I'll do it again. Negative ax plus 6 less than 10. All right, so I'm sorry, we'll subtract 6 on both sides. So we have negative ax less than 4, and we want to keep the a. So we're going to divide by negative x and negative x. And remember, this will flip, right? The negative signs cancel, the x's cancel. We're left with a less than 4 over negative x, right? Or negative, or negative 4 over x. Oops, my bad. All right, so then this one, oh, now I have extra work here. All right, let's watch the magic. Let's shrink that, because you can always just rewind the video. And here we go. We have negative b x minus 3 greater than 4. And it says that we're solving for b. See if we can do it right this time. All right, so we'll do plus 3. All right, these cancel. We got negative bx greater than 7. And we're solving for b, so that means everybody else has to go. The negative sign has to go and the x has to go. And since it's a negative sign, we'll need to flip. So then b is less than negative 7 over x. All right, and just because, was that minus? We're going to solve for the x this time. Why? Just for a variety's sake, for you making sure that you know how to solve for different variables. All right, so the first step is the same. So you have negative bx greater than 7. But at this point is where it differs, because whereas here we were solving for b, here we want to solve for x. So that means that we're going to divide out the negative sign and the b. And once again, because we're dividing with a negative sign, that'll flip. So x will be less than negative 7 over b. I hope that was instructive. Yay, the last two problems. Oh my gosh. Well, it is a unit test. Whew. All right, so looking at this inequality, first we need to simplify this because we have a lot of things going on. So the first thing we'll do is we'll distribute the 4. All right, so that'll give us 4x plus 12 minus 2x less than 26. Now we're going to look for like terms, this one and this one. And remember, we're still on the same side, so it's just 4x minus 2x is just 2x. So 2x, carry the plus 12. All right, now we can't simplify anymore, so if I take 12 away from this side, I have to take 12 away from this side as well to maintain the inequality. 2x less than 26 minus 12 is 14. And so now we only want the x, but it's being multiplied, so we divide out the 2. And we have the x is less than 7. It said no need to graph. All right, this one, again, we need to simplify this side because it's got a lot of stuff going on. And the first thing is going to be distributing the negative 2. All right, and being careful with that negative sign. Negative 2 times negative 3 is a positive 6. All right, and combining like terms, negative 2x plus 5x. 5 is positive. Oh, I lost the red pen. So it's gonna be 3x. Carry the plus 6, greater than equal 33. All right, so now we're ready to solve for the x, but first we have to get rid of the plus 6. And so we have 3x greater than or equal to 27. And this is multiplication, so we divide out the 3. X greater than or equal to 9. And I think that's it. All right, please make sure that you do well, whether it's the test or the retest, okay? Make sure you also do the assignments so that you're as prepared as possible.